Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of puppets. Today, checking out some more beer that I got on Beer Dome. So thanks a ton to Beer Dome for the beer. This is going to be my second beer from the Drowned Lands Brewery in Warwick, New York. So I had their Isabel. If you haven't seen that review, go watch it. It was an awesome West Coast Pale Ale. I was really impressed with it. And this is their Wanderer, which is a premium Nelson Pilsner. This sounds right up my alley because, as you know, Nelson is one of my all-time favorite hops, and I am a massive lover of Pilsner and well-brewed lagers. And just judging by the first beer, I'm thinking this is going to be great. So this is a beer they do often on a rotational basis. It's a it says hop with Nelson Sauvin, Nelson Pilsner. It's a Pilsner, New Zealand style Pilsner made with a variety of their house Pilsner malts. So a different set of Pilsner malts, I guess, for complexity. And then it's double dry hop with Nelson. So that's interesting. A double dry hopped Pilsner. That usually indicates a lot of hops. But you can also kind of see that in the glass. 4.6% alcohol. Sounds like a crusher to me. So this batch here, I think, is from July because that's on the Instagram page. Their Instagram page is the last time I could see this being released, and there's no canning date on this. But let's see. Pours quite a hazy color for a Pilsner. It looks like a rustic Pilsner, if you can say it like that. Poured out with a frothy big white head. It looked awesome, as you probably saw on the thumbnail. Very pale white, all right, pale white head, yeah, but pale golden yellow color. This looks like some very crisp like Pilsner malts. And you might be like, but a Pilsner should be clear. And that's true. Like most awesome classic Pilsners are crystal clear. But you see this with craft Pilsners and lagers a lot, especially when you dry hop. Dry hop is a natural way of producing haze in beer. So you'll get a look like this. Especially if this is double dry hopped, I understand why it also looks like this. I mean, there's no particles or anything, but there is just like a light bit of haze to it, which looks quite all right. So let's check out the aroma on this bad boy. And thanks a ton to Beer Dome for the beer, of course. Oh, that smells nice. It's definitely got a lot of Nelson. And I can smell that this would have been crazy intense when fresher as well. Usually with lagers, I think they hold up better when they're dry hop. But maybe that's more the gentle dry hop. Where it's like a bit more balanced. This is just gooseberry galore, gooseberry marmalade, and snappy, crispy malt. Citrus, lemon. There is a bit of that like funky Sauvignon Blanc grape quality to it. It smells really nice, but more well balanced right now. You can smell that it's been really popping crazy smack in the face. But like if this was from early July, it's probably 4 months or so, if not older now. But it still smells really good. I think they might still have a few different Drowned Lands beers on Beer Dome, so maybe I should try to get some more. I mean, so far I really liked what I've tried. And just judging by the aroma, I think I'm going to like this. But let's try it. Cheers, and thanks to Beer Dome for the beer. You can drink a lot of that. That's really crushable. Oop, really crushable. It's not that bitter. It almost feels a bit like an American lager in terms of like the crispiness and lightness of it. It feels maybe a bit more fluffy. It's actually really akin to something like Party Cup from North Park. Just that this you can taste that probably would have the same amount of like hop intensity if it was fresher. Cause there is a touch of bitterness, maybe a touch more than in Party Cup. But it's not like in a German Pils. It's not that like digging bitter snap, which I love. I mean, personally, I would love more bitterness in this beer. That's the only thing I have to put a finger on, just to like dry out the palate even more and whatnot. It's still dry, yet fluffy, great mouthfeel on it, and then all those awesome Nelson characteristics. I think so there's a lot of these modernized lagers, and I think when they really shine the best is where you make a marriage between like the German Pilsner and these modern traditions. I haven't tried someone doing it with a Czech style Pilsner, but with the German ones. And maybe that's also because I've had this flair for West Coast IPAs, the West Coast Pilsners, So you have that like noble hop, German hot side maybe with some modern hops in the whirlpool, and then a dry hop edition. And I think it's just like, that's awesome. You get some bitterness, of course, not as much as in a West Coast IPA, but you get some good bitterness, lots of dryness, and then that like pop of hops. I think that's my favorite way to do like modernized lagers these days. But this is also still killer. I mean, this is awesome. If you were, especially if it was summer, if you were by the lake or if you're by the beach or barbecue party, whatever, bring a 6-pack of this. It's going to be gone in no time. The drinkability is insane, and it's really tasty. And such a simple malt backbone. Just lightly crispy, crackery, slightly doughy as well, which might be the CO2 levels as well. It's not like heavily carbonated, but it also makes it seem more fluffy and airy. It's a great Pils, but I think it's due to freshness. I'm not as excited about it as I could have been. It's really, really good, but I think I just would love it more fresh. Like, I think, again, if it had that, just a snap more of a robust, like, noble hop bitterness, then even though it was old, I would like it more, just because it had more of that snap and just a little bit of a wake you up, where this is a bit more, dare I say, dainty, and which is not necessarily negative. I mean, these kind of softer Pilsners are really nice, and there's a lot of New York breweries doing this kind of Pilsner as well, both classic in a classic sense and modern, where it's like a big focus on aroma hops, low bitterness, things like something like Suarez or Hill Farmstead and stuff like that. Although those are really nice, I just prefer a bit of more edge and snap and like a little bit of shoulders on the edge, like just a little bit going on more instead of everything being super soft. Although that's also nice, and that's probably what you could drink the most of in the long run. But I think that's just, it's coming from my kind of West Coast heart and also my kind of classic North German Pilsner heart. Because those are like my favorite kind of, lager types. The West Coast lagers and North German lagers or Pilsners. But this is still for sure a 90. There's nothing you can put your finger on really other than the freshness issue and then maybe some small personal preference things. Because this is really dope lager. And yeah, you should check it out. If you're in Warwick or near Warwick or whatever in the States in New York, close to the brewery, you should try and go there and get some really fresh of this when they release it, because I'm sure that it's banging. I mean, it must really pop on the aroma side of things. And taste. Great stuff. So yeah, straight 90 for Drowned Lands Wander Premium Nelson Pilsner. Again, really nice Pilsner. More to the soft side with a lot of Nelson flavor. I didn't talk too much about it, but it's like the gooseberry. There's that like slightly funky Sauvignon Blanc grape, citric lemony qualities. It's not per se really tropical, besides maybe passion fruit. But that's also just like classic Nelson flavors. It's classic Nelson, but in a soft, clean lager package. Really good. I'm really looking forward to the photo age lager from these guys that I have. Will be fun to try it also from Beer Dome. So if you guys had a chance to try Wander from Drowned Lands Premium Nelson Pilsner, let me know what you thought of it. As always, comment, subscribe to the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers and see you guys in another beer review. And check out Beer Dome if you want to try this beer. Cheers.